the Center for the Study of International Slavery. It's a partnership between the University of Liverpool and National Museums Liverpool, specifically the International Slavery Museum. It studies slavery in both its historic and its contemporary manifestations.
The Center for the Study of International Slavery works alongside the International Slavery Museum. Equally, they're two very independent organisms. So the interesting part is when you get them to marry and they kind of work well together.
Liverpool as a city was intrinsically linked to the development of transatlantic slavery. You can't tell the story of Liverpool without talking about its transatlantic slavery story, its maritime story, and its people's story. And Liverpool has one of the longest continuous black community presence in the UK. So the work of CSIS is absolutely critical.
The center's biggest real-life impact is being able to grow a portfolio of continued research that demonstrates not only the evolution of discourse on this really critical topic over time, but also be able to create a portfolio of initiatives and projects that can really assist researchers that want to understand where conversations are going. Being able to work with the heritage professionals at the International Slavery Museum, as well as the academics at the University of Liverpool and the wider Liverpool community of immensely talented researchers. You really get a different perspective on what this research is, where the importance lies, where the actions need to be, and how we can all work together to advance this critical history to make the world more equitable, more fair.
The International Slavery Museum came about for many, many reasons, but at the heart of it was community activism. Was people eventually demanded in the city of Liverpool that there was a museum that focused on the history and legacies of transatlantic slavery, but made that relevant to living and breathing communities. And that wasn't there. There were museums in the cities from the 19th century, but they didn't really cater for certain communities and particular audiences. So that's about building relationships and building trust, and those things can take decades. So I'd like to think CSIS is in a place where it's built trust and people think it is, an entity that speaks for them and their interests.
That partnership between the university and the museum is absolutely critical for the truth-telling of these stories. Both institutions are brave in tackling the story. We're being serious about this, and not just serious because it's local. We have that international reach. So we have that international responsibility. We've got a real connective point of networks that we've both created over decades. So the global impact is being consistently developed from a heritage and an academic point of view because of the distinguished and respected relationships with the museum sector and the academic sector.
We are a research center at its heart, but we also work to expand what that means to contribute to research, especially those that have been excluded from the higher education sector previously. How can we work to eliminate those barriers? How can we work to open the doors and support researchers in any stage, platform, or arena they wish to be in? So we work to not only develop research, but develop the way in which it's done to be more equitable and to really understand these sources and what they're talking about and look at the stories that have often been put in the margins of history and bringing those to the forefront.
30 years ago, I couldn't have come in here. There's always been that academic push, but I think that more recently we've seen the real community engagement, the trust that is grown. People are inspired. People are also critical, but I've always been a constructive, critical friend with solutions for most of my life.